Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Poet. Oh boy, it's a good thing for us to examine ourselves, find out what it is that we're doing wrong. It's easy to point the finger at other people's mistakes. It's hard to examine yourself and point out your own flaws. But it's good to do that. You want to judge somebody, judge yourself. Look at yourself. Look at what you've been doing and see. Search the scriptures, seek God's face, and find out for yourself if what self has been doing is truly right. Man, I always find myself examining myself, but today I found out I pick and choose what I want to believe I'm doing, not what is right and what is wrong, but if what I'm doing is right or wrong, if that make any sense. Like, I don't be wanting to accept the fact that some of the things I'm doing is wrong. Like sitting here telling you this right now, and I can hear the enemy like, why would you get on here and say that? So people can judge you. You're supposed to be telling people what they want to hear, things about other people that they can relate to. That's the problem that we have as people, not even realizing. We correct one another by the grace of God that we can help one another become better. We're not to judge one another or condemn one another. That's crazy. I wanted to talk tonight about uh, what God gives us and what the enemy gives us. Like I touched on it the other night. I've been touching on it for the past few months. The difference. What God gives us is ours. Yes, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Understand what that means. Because when you look at it and really examine it, those things that He didn't give you, He will remove from you. He'll take it out the equation. And those things that He did give to you, that's yours. God is not an Indian giver. God loves you. He does punish. He chastises those that he loves. And it hurts. Emotionally, physically, it hurts. I'm not gonna lie. Some things we get and we say it's a blessing. Really, it was given, as I said the other night, by the enemy. It's counterfeit. It's fake. It's not yours. It comes with a price. Oh, there's those things that you will say, or we would call if this don't happen, then that's not yours. If you don't do this, you don't do that, you know what I'm saying. However, if it wasn't meant for you to have, and you did things to actually get it on your own without seeking God in that matter, it's going to be short lived. You will not be able to keep it.
Yay! Yay! Who in the bathroom?
I am actually going through as we speak, as we sit here. I'm actually going through. So, anyway, that subject will not be one to discuss tonight. What we are going to talk about is basically the same thing we have been talking about past couple of weeks. Removing yourself out of the way and letting God do what he got to do. So let's just call it let go and let God. We'll do that. Let go and let God. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because it needs to be addressed. There are some things that we possess we just don't want to let go of. There are things that we have accepted in our life that we do not want to part with. We've accepted it. We've taken hold of it. We've put it on a shelf. We polish it every now and again. We do whatever we got to do to show our appreciation for it. But it's not what we're supposed to have. It wasn't given to us by God. It's something we went out in our own self-love and did for ourselves. When you become more aware of what your purpose in life is, what it is you're supposed to be doing, loving God. Like I keep telling you, the more you love God, the more things change in your life. The more you can see what's right and what's wrong. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. You're going to get mad. You're going to hurt. You're going to ache. Why am I telling you all this? Because it's the truth. Honest to God truth. It is not easy to walk this walk. It is not easy to do what we are called to do. Why is it not easy? There's many different reasons I can give you. One that stands out to me is because we've gotten comfortable with the way that we live our life. We've gotten so gotten so used to doing things a certain way that it's habit forming. It's like smoking cigarettes or whatever your addiction is. You've become attached to it. It's like you can't live without it, so to speak. Or at least that's how it seems. And that would be a reason why it's not easy. It's not easy to part ways with your way of thinking, your way of perceiving things, the way you've become accustomed to it because you grew up this way. We grew up thinking like this. We grew up believing in certain things and believing a certain way. So when it comes down to actually changing that, it gets hard. It's not easy. So no, it's not going to be easy to do what it is he commanded of us to do. It's going to be hard. And because we are so fearful of change and uncomfortable with doing certain things, we start to compromise. That's one thing we're good at. We're great at. It's a craft that we have mastered. Compromising with certain things. Okay, Lord, I'll do this. I can't do that. I'll accept this. I refuse to accept that. It's just like being in a relationship. Now, see, the funny part about it is in the beginning. I'm talking about, man, listen, in anything that you do in life, anything that you go through in life, anything that's good, most of the time, even the bad things, when you first start doing it, it's great. It's fun, it's exciting, it's spontaneous, however you want to see it. It's perfect. No. Sometimes we get off into stuff that we don't intend on it actually lasting that long, or the reason why you got attached to it and what you was looking for in it may change because you get attached to it. It's It's just how things operate. I mean, I wish I could give you a clear picture of it. But right now, I'm actually, while I'm right here on this live, I'm actually dealing with something that's weighing heavy on me, like trying to figure it out. You know how you go through things in life and um, you experience certain things and you didn't intend on it being what it turned out to be. So when the time comes for you to part with that, it is hard. And to you, in your mind and in everything you understand, it's like your world is ending. The reason that being is because, like I said, you become attached. We become attached to things that we keep around for long periods of time. You get acquainted with it. You start to know it inside and out, regardless to what it is. And you don't want to let it go, especially if it's something that you appreciate, that you have start to value, put a price tag on it, or say that it's priceless to you. It's been faithful to you. It's, you know, whatever. It's like, think about the first car you ever bought with your money. No help from mama, daddy, auntie, uncle, grandparents, none of that. It's your money, your hard earned money that you went to work for daily, saving up for this car, and you get it, and you have this car for almost a year, and then all of a sudden something happened, and you lose that car. It's that feeling right then and there that we deal with in anything that we become attached to. This woman, this man that you met, you've been with for almost a year. They've been good to you. And even though you had your flaws, you did everything you could to be good to them. But then it's run its course. And you both make the mutual decision. Both of you have make a conscientious decision to end it. And you're in agreement with it. But soon as you part ways, that feeling that just laid hold to your heart, that's what I'm talking about. That's the part of letting go and letting God. Because if you're not careful, you're going to go chase that down. That feeling is going to make you run after that you just parted from. And in some cases, you've done the right thing. It was time to let it go. But because you've been so attached to it, to him, to her, to whatever it is, you do not want to let go. That pain is uneasy. It's uncomfortable. It don't feel good. That's at that moment when we need to let God. Let go and let God. Let him work on them emotions that you're having, because it's something in there that needs to be fixed. Let him work on that pain that you're feeling, because that's just an open wound from something else that didn't get a chance to be healed. You don't believe me? Think about it. When you and that person parted ways, even though it was a mutual agreement, and you started hurting, and you trying to bring yourself back from being hurt, you start to remember all them pains you had in relationships before that. See, I was trying to get this to you without getting on the relationship thing, because when we actually do this relationship bid, it's going to be somewhat of a sequel. It's going to be a actual, what would they call it? A revival. Because we're going to go through all the ups and downs, the ins and outs, what it takes to actually hold it together. I truly believe that we find our mate, because the Bible says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. And those who I've seen God put together without them having any say so, he just went and got them. Hey, go get this one. That one right there. Not her, her. It was a lesson that we today wouldn't even want to go through. But there's been many relationships where they sought each other out and they understood this person got flaws, just like I do. I'm hoping she can work through my flaws while I work through hers. Or she complain all the time. That's okay. I got some things inside of me that she's not gonna like. I still have traits from being out here in the streets she might not want to deal with. But I'm hoping she can help me be a helpmeet. Meet the needs. Help me meet these needs of actually becoming a better person, of learning to let go and let God. Oh, I had issues growing up of being patient. And I've learned how to be a little more patient. But she ain't patient at all. You got to help her be patient. This is what I be meaning by whatever God give us, you're going to have to work on it. Even when you go find it, you're going to have to put in the work. The only way to appreciate what you have is to work at it. I ain't saying work for it. Work at it. Get it together. Piece the puzzle together. Put in the work. Mold it. You want him to be that fairy tale prince? Mold it. You women have it a whole lot easier than the men do. Because what's in you is to actually be submissive. And if he's out of line, you get a chance to go over the head and say, Lord, I gave you my word that I was going to be the wife this brother need. But I need you to help me help him. Oh, he going to help you. See, the man, we got to sit here and put our foot down. And a lot of you women out there would just waiting to chop it off. You know I'm telling the truth. Y'all ready to just chop the brother's foot off. I wish he would put that foot down. I'm gonna chop it off. That's a hard task for a man these days. Because y'all have learned to be independent and believe that you can do it on your own without a head. Oh, God gonna be my head. Yeah, he'll work with you. But you can't be complete without the other part of that spine and the rest of them ribs that man possess within himself. He can't be complete without that rib that God took from him to create you. Now you got God trying to work on that part of you. How many different things you want God to work on? You want him to stay distracted from other things that you desire? It's not good that we should be alone. But if you can do it, more power to you. I don't knock your choice as long as it's within the bounds of God and his word. Do it. Just do it. We have to learn to get in position. The only way we're going to get in the proper position is we got to let go of some things. We got to let some things fall off of us. Because some of this stuff that we holding on to is a hindrance in us going over into the next phase of this, what we call life that we're in. The mission that we have. It's hard to succeed at anything when you can't pass on to the next level. Got to get all these levels up under your belt. The only way to do that is you got to learn you can't take this with you. By all means, take the experience, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you got from that with you. Just don't be boastful. Remain humble. And don't keep holding on to it. If you notice that every day for the past 7 days has been the exact same thing, there's something you need to let go of because you're not moving forward. You got too many baggages tagged on to you. Your legs then got weary. And as much as you're trying to make them push forward, they won't move. You got to lighten the load. You got to let go and let God. I hear you, Lord. I've told y'all a few times, when I talk to you all, I'm looking at myself on this screen. Some of the things that I say I can relate to. Some of them is just in my heart to speak to someone else. I don't know who you are individually or nothing like that. But a lot of the things I say is either coming from experience or it's an awakening in my mind, my heart, my spirit, letting me know, hey, God got you, but you got to do this. I know they say if you talk to this, well, they used to say if you talk to yourself, you're crazy. Then they got to saying, don't ask no questions. Then they said, ask, just don't answer yourself. That's what I heard growing up. I'm gonna break all them laws. Talk to yourself. Ask yourself questions and give yourself answers. Do all three. And look yourself in the eye when you do it. Get in a mirror and do it. That way you can hear what's going on in your mind, in the physical. And then search it out and say, Lord, take whatever is not of you from me. I don't want nothing to do with it. And search his word. Seek his face. He'll give you the answers. He'll give you the way. He'll take you by the hand and walk you straight through it. But you got to be willing to let go. Trust me, there's going to be some things. It's not the things that you willing to let go of that's going to be the problem. It's those things you don't want to let go of because you feel like it's too valuable. God said, thou shalt have no other God before me. Which means if he tell you to let it go, you got to be like Abraham. Walk that son on up there on that mount, tie him down, bind him, lay him at the altar, grab the blade. You might get lucky. And he might let you keep that very thing that you're getting ready to give up. But then again, you might not. It might be that he said, you chose this over me too many times. It's got to go. Yep. Just real quick, since I mentioned it to you, let me show you something. When God came to Abraham and told him about Isaac, his wife Sarah laughed. God said, why did she laugh? Abraham explained, said, my wife has been barren all the days of her life. She can't have kids. So it tickled her for you to say she was going to have my promised son. Even after God told her that, her doubt led her to do something. She went and got, I think her name was Hagar, her handmaiden, brought her to her husband and said, go in and lay with her and get that son that God promised you. God said that you was going to bear that son. But Abraham went in there and laid with her and went after that son. Now, that act in itself is showing, you showing too much favor towards the promise that I gave you. Understand that. God will give us something. And we'll turn around and praise that very thing he gave us over him. Abraham put in the act to go after that. Listening to his wife. Sound familiar? About like that forbidden fruit. Which I know there was another purpose for what God did because he showed it to me. But why would he even tempt Abraham with that? When I told you I was going to give you a son through your wife, you listened to your wife and laid with another woman and got a son. Not only that, after you got the son I promised you from your wife, you sent that other son away from you. I want to see if Isaac means more to you than I do. What Abraham do? He let go and let God. So next time you get to thinking about something that you feel is valuable, ask yourself, are you willing to let it go? Before you get it, ask yourself, am I willing to let this go if God come to me and tell me I got to get rid of it? If your first thought tell you no, don't even get it. I wouldn't even grab it. I wouldn't go for it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Why? Because it's going to hurt you in the end. Because he coming for it. You were honest with yourself before you got it. You knew you wouldn't want to get rid of it. He finna come to you. I need you to get rid of that. So why put yourself through that situation? This promised man that you women out here looking for. Man come up to you, willing to even marry you. Ask yourself, are you willing to let him go if God said let him go? If your answer is no, you better not touch him, because you finna waste some time with this man. Because I guarantee you, God is coming. My daughter, I need you to get all your stuff and leave him right now. It's going to hurt because you done put in all this time and you done got the value in this man. And if you don't do it, well, you know there's consequences. He might turn violent. Never accept anything that you would be willing to put before God. I know that sounds crazy to some of y'all, but I'm being real with you. This is our issue. The reason why it's so hard to let go and let God. We've been craving all this time and we finally get it. And then we wonder why we have to lose it. Because you value it more than you do God. Thou shalt have no other God before me. Let it go. And let God be first in your life. I want to go deeper into that, but I can't. I have to leave you with this thought. Let go and let God. The one thing I've been dealing with for the past, maybe 8 hours, letting go and letting God. We'll get ourselves in a situation to where we'll be like, well, this is what helped bring me to him. I don't really value this more than I do him. But soon as things go to acting up between you and this person, or you and this one particular thing that you cherish, you forget who you are. You forget that you are a child of God. You start to act the way you used to act. You start to get angry a little quicker. You start to question your own faith in the Lord. You will slack up reading his word and seeking his face, your prayer life will start to fade because something went wrong with this one thing that you're cherishing more than God. This is how you know that this is an issue. You could hear the voice of God telling you through someone else that you can't do a certain thing. And because you feel like that's going to make you have to part from this one thing, you don't want to listen to it. You want to find a way to justify your actions in that. When you find yourself doing that, think, oh, I done turned this into a God. I'm giving it more value than I do God because his word clearly said not to do this. And I thought that if I didn't do it, I would lose this. So I put this before God. That's how you see that. That's how that works. Let go and let God. That's going to be all the time I have for tonight. Forgive me. I am sorry about all the noise in the background. But I pray that you actually heard something in this video that could actually help you in becoming closer or walking closer with the Lord and becoming a better person as we live on this earth. I love you all. Pray for me. I'm going to continue to pray for every one of you. And we'll see you next time right here at The Poet. Until then, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Be blessed.